Matt, I think what's really nice is we do have some tennis courts nearby, and we have another couple we do double dates with and hang out with that also do tennis, so I can be a little more active and try to lose some weight, because I've gained a few pounds, so I got to shed that off. Logan's asking if the flat gun, so I think they're going to be targeting the flat guns here, but I think they're just props for this AO, because otherwise they'd be really nasty anti-infantry weapons. Righto, Red Eye. Well, I hope you, when the video comes out in a few days, I hope you're able to use some of the strategies in it, because we will go into a lot of like channel growth strategies on how things work, and I hope you can find something insightful in there. But really, it's just a matter of repetition and working on, you know, just constantly delivering. But that also allows people, if you know what to front log, you can front log stuff pretty well. Because now that I know what to front log, for example, I'll be honest, I have like 60 or 70 draft videos on my channel that I just need to schedule out. But once you schedule them out, if you schedule them out too far, the algorithm doesn't always like that. So it is a concept I will still be testing. Just to see if it was possibly a skew in our data, because we only had 2 out of the 8 people working on stuff like that. And it might have just been before we knew about the whole cycle thing. It might just be one of those things. So keep that in mind. If you have complaints about asset pictures, please send a strongly worded letter to the mod developers for not including the appropriate files. Ah, yes, like how the UN sent a strongly worded letter to Hitler before World War II. Wink. Red 4 has a tent, they win. We don't even have a red 4, though, unless you mean green 4 is your red 4 here, because I know some people do define it like that. But yes, it is World War II PvP today. So anyway, let's get into it here. So the U.S. forces here are the green 4 guys. We're going to be seeing... Honestly, I've been seeing a lot more M1 carbines compared to M1 Garans, in all honesty. Like, I finally just saw one M1 Garand right here, but everything appears to be a carbine. I don't know if they did that for balance. Maybe because the carbine has a smaller caliber, so it's less deadly. That is the only thing I can think of for FNF balance. So the Garand is only given to a handful of guys in the squad, I guess. But otherwise, they've got transport trucks to go in. They got the Greyhound, and they have 3 U.S. half-tracks with 50 cal Brownings on it. Nice. And they've got the command team giving a brief right here, and 1 Willys Jeep for the command unit to drive around. And looking at the roster here, we got Riccardi, who was the blue 4 marksman for the German side last round, get some really nice hits in from the rear. Now taking up command, Standers is going to be the marksman with the scoped Springfield, aim at the stars being his medic and Lusode, leading that group. Again, I would think the X-ray teams would work better close with company command, not doing elaborate maneuvers for the sole purpose of recon, rather getting in a little closer so their marksmen can comfortably get a few kills. But that's just my opinion. We've got Fonge, Slidender, Snow Owl. Not sure if he's related to Night Owl, who's another great player. SVFC, also they're doing the enhanced movement jump around glitch, where if you do a spin and do enhanced movement, it knocks your character's alignment off. And as you can see, he's actually knocking vehicles around and whatnot as he glides around. But we have Omega, Enaby, Scandi Recon, Grav, Sleshy. I'm seeing a lot of names I don't recognize either, so I think that's just people coming for the World War II FNF, which is really cool. Swola, Misu, Ash, Tackleberry, Nox, Tass over here. ML's also in here. Logan is with Nimia and Finn. That's pretty nice. Yeah, but as you can see, that exploit, you can kind of glide around really well. Finn has a lot of practice in doing that. But it's all about getting the timing down to then get that set up pretty well. But I would say overall, Green 4 has a pretty good group there. And they did win the first round, which was pretty nice. But, ooh, oh dear. That's no bueno. Oh, hey, I found his leg. Oh, no, that's your leg. Okay, well, I don't know where his legs went, but clearly they're not there anymore. So you got a Sherman that's down right here. Nice little aesthetic there. And we have the German side. Ooh, little laggy to come in here and load this bridge and all the assets right here. But we have a flat gun over here and another flat gun over there. Those are the objectives for today. I believe their simulations are disabled. That or they just don't have any ammo, because if their sims were disabled, they wouldn't be destroyable. But otherwise, the German forces here, you're going to mainly see Kar 98s, a few G43s, some grenade rifle adapters for the Kar 98s. I'm not sure if the... I haven't seen any grenade rifle adapters on the US side all night. Usually it's for the Garans. But they have some short-range AT in the Panzer Shreks. Or is it... I always get those damn things confused. I think the Panzer Shrek is the reloadable one. The Panzer Faust is the single-shot one. But feel free to correct me in chat. And otherwise, a lot of MP40s. An SG44 here and there. Given... Oh, it's given as an auto rifle. Interesting. Otherwise, looking at the numbers here, we got Resurge commanding. I've been seeing him command as of late. Panzerfaust is a single one. All right, yep. Glad I got it right this time. Arcor on that side, Vagrant, Shy, Bassbeard, Bacon, Buckets, Jib Style, Green Thumb. Honestly, all these guys are veterans here. Got Badilkovich over here. Norris is with them as well. 4IB guys, UPSC or Peppa Pirates at this point. I can't tell who's who at this point. I think it's Peppa Pirates, though, because I don't see Clown with them, and I believe Clown is still UPSC, but it's, I honestly can't remember. Misper's over here as well, Broken. So, yeah, good rosters here. Green 4 definitely has a bit of a numbers advantage. Yeah, another, I want to say 2 elements worth, so it's a good chunk of AO there. But otherwise, we see the 222 right here, and then the 250, which is a smaller half track that was noted earlier. Is that a 42 or a 34? I can't tell. Looks like a 34 to me. Otherwise, we have the 222 with a nice autocannon. And then we have the 3 static MGs, which one of them has accidentally put floating in the air to our standards, and one is a sit-down. And then we have the bridges. So let's quickly look at the bridges here. This is the main bridge. They're taking the wheels off the trucks and trying to set up a defensive perimeter with those wheels. That's always funny to see. We have a footbridge all the way to the north, which only infantry can cross, not vehicles. And then all the way to the south, we have another secondary bridge that was just included in the AO. And this one goes into the water a bit, but it's not deep enough to sink anything. But otherwise, give it to me. 8, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub, my friend. I hope you keep enjoying the operations, and I hope you get a kick out of this scenario. And Willow Tree giving out another 5 subs. If you got a sub from Stone Willow Tree, make sure you thank him. Otherwise, I hope you all keep enjoying the operations nonetheless, and I hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. So it is important to note that all of these boxes right here represent customly placed buildings. So they've actually added a lot into this AO. They've made it a lot more creative here in adding a lot of things for players to get in. So this is not the normal map by any means. They've added a few buildings here as well, and they're enterable. Well, some are enterable, some are just for placement, but the big giant windmills, for example, that's pretty nice. But they have a custom script that has these little boxes spawn for anything that's custom placed to at least let the attackers know that there's something special there, as well as the defenders if they want to go check it out. That's why you have this area here blacked out, just to show that there is something special there. Ooh, there's even a bunker over here. That's interesting. And this building, I believe, is also a custom-placed one. Yeah, because they added some burnt guys here. Ouch. So yeah, there is no rule about blockading. Actually, no, there are rules about blockading the routes in, so I'm not sure if that would be a violation or not. We also have Not Bay in here, which is actually T5 Bay. At least I think it is, but he is one of the top players. And they have a nice flagpole right there. Yes, I'm playing COD World War II music because it's fun. So yeah, these guys are playing Jenga with the machine guns. For what reason, I do not know. He's not a T/5 anymore, just not Bay. I don't even know what the T5 meant in his community. He left? Oh. Shit. That explains it. Still, he's honestly one of the best players I have seen in FNF, period, so glad he still plays. Yes, that's another custom building. Honestly, all the Germans need to do, it's cover the fucking bridges, you know? I would say cover the town, have one squad like right here to hold the flank, one squad on the bridge, one squad internal, and then one squad covering up here and you're good. Maybe rush something down to cover the southern bridge, but that's all you need. Oh, you're T4 Herb? Nice. You're also pretty good in my opinion. But I'd either see Bay run with you, or there was another guy who I cannot remember the name of. I'll know it when I see it. Yeah, I'd always see him with him. Regardless, we got Blue 4 just setting up defenses here. I'll be curious if they actually forego that objective and instead try to do an all eggs in one basket approach here. Herb, I would say, I mean, he can answer it himself, but usually you don't see a lot of 29th ID guys play because the 29th usually play in the NA branch. Yeah, exactly, because they'd be at work at this time, you know? Similar to Barbarian, you know? He's NA like me, but he picked up a full-time job. I'm lucky enough to have this as my full-time job because of all of you wonderful viewers, and I am thankful to the world and back, or no, that's the moon and back, for you guys allowing me the opportunity to have such an ordeal. So thank you. So I don't know what's going on right here. I think they're organizing. It's 4IB organizing with some members of Peppa Pirates. I could see them using a machine gun bunker to lock this position down there. Oh, shut up, Hazmat. Let me say my piece. Righto, Herb. I'll be glad to see you for NA. I'm going to be honest with you, I want to see this bridge be a bloody choke point battle. I would absolutely love that. Literally, to have both sides. You know what would be awesome? Is to just make this an AO and have a single sector be this bridge. You know what I mean? Like, make sure the buildings are, like, you know, even in the amount that people can enter and fire from, and then just make a neutral sector of whoever takes the bridge and is able to hold it wins. But then just fortify the hell out of this bridge, make it infantry only, have some clock towers on both sides for sniper positions, and just go ham. Like, that would actually be pretty fucking dope. Heck, I would make a mission like that, but I was told that all of the missions have been made, or are being made by, like, staff members and whatnot. But I appreciate you thinking the idea is great, Wheaton. Hey, if there's any room, because I know, if I remember correctly, you're an ad. Yeah, Eaton Wheaton. I put you on the multi today. Good God. Sorry, I have a shitty memory, but yeah. It's a good idea. It's honestly like one or two of the clock towers on the back line, buildings like these on both sides, creating a lot of windows from what you can enter with. Yeah, no, that would be good. Just add a bunch of debris everywhere too, you know? Put in a good word. Nice. Day of Defeat source map. Definitely. But then, like, maybe put, like, a footbridge down here and a footbridge up there, so if people want to try to outflank, they can. Or just make it an all-out slog. It's really up to what the players want to play, you know? Reminds me almost of some of the maps on KOH2. Yeah. 1 minute remaining. Yeah, I think the prediction finished. I didn't even notice. What are the point values for this latest prediction here? Germans are just going to go all eggs in one basket on the southern objective, and they just have 2 guys, no, 3 guys holding the northern one. It's the marksman team. Neat. 35k blue for, 27k on green for. That's fair. Yeah, I would imagine after the 3rd round, everyone's done with the crazy betting, because now I think everyone's realized that these can get pretty damn close. I would bet on the Germans here too, just because of this AO. But honestly, I think if the U.S. were to find a way to get everything across the bridge, so like if they were to rush down to the southern side and get everything across and attack from the south, and then do a wide flank and hit the northern one from the south too, I think they would have it in the bag. But I doubt we're going to see something like that. Well, too late, Tootie. Exactly what Larry said. Based off of what I've seen, so there goes the round. A big German force is actually pushing to the edge of the town. Okay. But yeah, based off of what happened in the previous rounds, not counting what's going on right now, I think I would say the Germans, because in CQC fighting with all those spare MG42s, I think the Germans would have had a nice advantage there. So you're hearing gunshots because the Germans are going to start knocking out windows. So you have the Willy Jeep going south, and a lot of the forces coming on. They're just going to drive down the MSR. So we're going to see a classic slog fight, because otherwise you'd see these guys going around south to hold the bridge. But looks like the Germans are being a little proactive on that too. They're sending the 222 south to cover it. That's a smart call. Because hey, if they could then cross from right there and lock that area down, that's another good thing. Liru just cursed blue for? I know. Anyone I say that I think is going to win is probably not going to win, right? I did say the U.S. would win the last round based off of the previous round, and the U.S. lost by like 2 guys and a tank, so... anything's possible. So now we're just kind of watching the deployment here. Green 4, I don't know what they're doing now. I think they just wanted to stick to the MSR. But I'm seeing a lot of their forces divide around now. While Blue 4 crossing the river here. Weird call. Yep, if anyone ever wants to join FNF, just use the !FNF command. That will get you sorted in playing in the Centaur group. You might not be able to make the first round because usually they're filled up, but the second and third rounds, you'll be able to find room. Close shot right there. And Stark is in this bush right here with AT ready to go. He's going to see these U.S. forces running up. Buck's trying to get a far marksman shot into U.S. Foxtrot here as we're starting to see contact now go on. I don't think there's another bridge up here. I'm going to quickly look. Yeah, past that footbridge, there's nothing. So I guess these guys are going up here. Sometimes there's a castle up here, but in this AO, it's just a little village. There's so many different versions of this map, to be perfectly honest. Stark going up, firing AT into this transport truck and destroying it. Okay. I think he was just gonna dunk it to see if anyone was lingering around it, but now you're having TAS frontline this attack here on their own as the rest of the U.S. forces are still setting up. Fisher's driven back with that truck. I think Green 4 down at the south. This is X-Ray scouting things out. And now you're starting to hear some shots here. Oh, someone just got picked off. Was that Stark? Stark is one of the new fan favorites. He got the vehicle kill, but he didn't get the infantry kill. I think it was Flux. Let's check Vonk and Flux here. Flux, yep, on 2 kills. He's got a Grenadier weapon too. Firing it a little high. But if he were to tune it down a little bit, I think he would get it in a... Nice. So what's funny about the Grenadier weapons is, as you can see, he's firing a bullet, but that bullet's also pushing the Grenadier round out. It's weird how those ballistics work. And I love how 3-4 IB guys are chilling in the wheat field here to do an ambush. That's pretty awesome. So far, no blue 4 KIAs, but Indigo Fox died and Connor have died. Those have been Flux's 2 kills. Yeah, you're firing blanks, but I find it funny how the tracer effect still sees that blank go by. So it's coded to still technically fire a round, but you're right, it is a blank. Because if it fired a bullet, that bullet would go into your HE round and just blow up your gun. It's 1 life. All F&F rounds are 1 life, except there was a long time ago they tried doing a recurring mission with respawns, and they said they'd try more, but that was back in August or September. And it's now June. So I think it's just one of their projects they have on ice, which I understand as someone that has a lot of projects on ice myself. Oh, they got the Browning over here. But they have completely pushed Foxtrot back here. So now the question is, how is the U.S. going to adapt to this? Because they still have a lot of forces deployed right here. I think they're going to start pushing for the Southern River approach. But the 222 is right here laying in reserve to be told by this recon group to push up. Now, who is this over here? This is Pickles. Looking at his first-person POV, he sees X-Ray. So I wonder if he's going to tell this 222 to push up and engage that X-Ray position. Because this is not blue for X-Ray. No. Okay. This is some elements of Alpha 2 that have pushed down to help cover the 222. Maybe they're just waiting to see if a larger force will come in so they can have the 222 come out and just annihilate them. Yes, it's basically YOLO. He's now Stark's joined up with that ambush. Not Bay's come around as well. And what's up here? This is some sort of Overwatch element. This is the Greyhound in a really nice Overwatch position. I like that, actually. That's a really good spot for the Greyhound, and that gives them full coverage of this AO, but they're now taking shots from these 3 members here, and it's their marksman, too. So he would have the engagement clearance, but even then, it's still going to be a tough shot. They pulled back. But that Greyhound does have the bigger cannon, and could just counter-snipe with it. So X-Ray for Green 4 has mounted back up in this vehicle. They're now pulling away. I'm not sure if they spotted this group over here, or if they're just going to pull away to try to get eyes from a different angle on the main bridge. But now the fight's going to stagnate a little bit, because Green 4 tried to come into this town and met resistance at the outskirts of the town, so now they're not going to try to push in. I don't know. I'm curious, guys. Give me a capital B if you think Blue 4, a.k.a. the Germans defending, are going to win. Give me a capital G for Green 4, a.k.a. the U.S. attacking faction, if you think they're going to win. I'm just curious what you guys think. Because it could still go either way. The Germans, a.k.a. Blue 4, did a really good job of halting that push and getting a few kills, but there's still a lot of time on the clock here. It's a tight-knit objective. I think if Green 4 can get their foot in the door somewhere, aka on the eastern side of the river, which, by the way, they're actually starting to get a group around on the far northern side, then they'll be able to come around Blue 4's rear and take everything out. Because, again, the main objective are these two AA guns, not to kill the entire enemy force. So a lot of you are saying Blue 4. I could see that based off of what we've seen so far. But look at this. We're actually seeing a big chunk of forces now pulling back on their side of the river to now do internal defenses, because they're thinking that Green 4 is going to plan some sort of major counter attack. But Green 4 is actually repositioning to go to the north because they, I believe, Scandi Recon was able to relay that they were able to get across that direction. So the issue with all of this repositioning that Green 4 is doing is it is going to eat up clock time. But Blue 4 has also completely pulled away from that northern position because the Greyhound's overwatching. The bridge cannot be destroyed. I think it's still too early to say if one side's lost because of how everything's going here. Green 4 still has a good chunk of manpower to deploy. They've got a really good overwatch position for their Greyhound. But I don't think we're going to see the main fight happen for another 15 minutes at the least, because Green 4 wants to find a comfortable way to get all their forces across. But there isn't a comfortable way for them to get their vehicle support over, which means they're going to be down their half tracks with that 50 cal on every each of them. And that might serve to bite them. Green 4 lost the previous op by only a few people, but it's because they lost the tank fight early on. And it was that surviving Blue 4 tank that really... I mean, it got 15 kills. It is the reason why they won. I think Bassbeard just fell out of the guard, the church tower here. Just have some bandages up here, so they were taking shots. So really good accuracy from this Foxtrot team. So you see the half tracks deploy here. They're not amphibious though. One of them already took some fire. Interesting enough, I think they just hit something. So I think they're gonna forego it and just cross through the river, as Charlie 2 for Green 4 has already done that on the far northern side. Burst of machine gun fire going out in that direction, but it's just a guess. There's another half track going around. Yep, that was that last force to the south. Has that 220, yep, all right, so the 222 moved back north. The question is, where has it repositioned to? I believe it's over here now. Nope, that's the half track, locking down that really big open field, which is great. No, the 222 is dead. So it just armored itself against two trucks and died. Because that's where the crater is. Where will you be when Arma physics strike? So, Blue 4 losing their autocannon to negligence might have just bought the U.S. some leeway here to get their forces across. That autocannon would have been really, really scary for the U.S. to deal with, but now that they might have honestly seen it gone in the air right there from the Overwatch position, so it's 50-50 whether or not the U.S. knows they don't have to deal with that asset anymore. But yeah, stuff like that happens a little more often than I'd like to admit in FNF, in all honesty. They can't see that far? Yeah, that's fair. I will admit, in the spectator seat, I get a full max range to put out. They don't get this far of a range to see, though. But even then, it just means the U.S. are going to be a little more... they're going to keep being cautious, thinking that the 222 is somewhere around. But hopefully that caution doesn't slow them down too much. The Greyhound can see about 100 meters past the windmill. Yeah, all right, so that is about that, which is 1, 2... That's about 750 meters. Yeah, so the Greyhound can't see into this next town from that Overwatch position, so... Let me do one more tick real quick. Yeah, so that's 5 ticks. So we still have Not Bay waiting around back here. All the German forces have invested in an all eggs in one basket approach. And I think that they're thinking that because they have that bridge locked down, they know they don't have to put a lot of defenses on the south. So they've got this big L-shaped defense to guard the bridge and the northern flank because they pulled their forces back from the northern objective because they had that the U.S. had the Greyhound on Overwatch. So U.S. are going to deploy and try to bypass that bridge choke point and just attack from the north, but the Germans have done a really good job of predicting it. Now, these look open, but these trees, specifically these tree lines with these bushes, can allow for a big chunk of concealment to allow the U.S. forces to practically get right on top of this AO. So because of that, I could see this one German squad getting overwhelmed by the sheer amount of U.S. forces that they might have to fight. It was only German tank troops, tankers, if you will, that had the meth chocolate. It was in a red chocolate bar, and I forget the name. But that was only given to the tankers. But yes, putting meth in chocolate does make your tankers more effective, apparently. That might have been why the 222... He went too hard, too fast, and now he's dead last. Okay. Oh, the regular infantry just got straight up methamphetamine. Okay. So Blue Force come up here and added some fortifications to the top of this building. These sandbags are great, but I feel like they're a little too framey in my opinion, but it's good to see them in FNF not causing any issues. That gives me a little bit more faith in them. But sometimes their textures freak the fuck out, and they get really reflective-y on the sandbags. Like flashes of black and whatnot. But they're still engaging this Foxtrot group, which is now pulling back. But I'm still only seeing those 2 original skulls on the Green Force side, and then you've got the tank crew dead. Yeah, so his body's over here. I think this is where he got flung out when he died. And the issue with these trucks is there's no destroyed texture. So it's hard to tell, but I mean, both of those were on fire. So I got X-Ray leading the way to scout. And they're taking fire from multiple different angles here. Something just exploded right here. So I think at this point, the Germans need to pop their pills and get into action. Drugs? There's a certain way Bloodwing says the word drugs with her Greek accent. It's really, really funny. But otherwise, we have the U.S. forces securing the northern position. They've put some TNT blocks on it. That should be enough to blow it up. And X-Ray under some heavy fire here. Oh! Looks like they were able to find a way to get the half tracks across, probably following this bridge, actually. It was shallow enough for them to get things across. They also just had the Greyhound go over it. So that is nice. Explosive went off on that position. It didn't do anything, though. So I think the admin might fix that, because that was a 4-block of TNT. That should have destroyed that thing. So I'm not sure if these guys are going to go south and try to cross around, or if they'll harass from the bridge. I'm not sure if T5 Bay will also fold in now that the attack started. I did just see movement there, so he's going to come in. He will always be called T5 Bay for me. There's another satchel going off, and that has destroyed the gun. No destruction texture, but it's no longer a symbol. So now you're starting to see disconnects of people that have died in the 3rd round. I'd be willing to bet it's probably a majority of U.S. forces here. Schult, why are you dumb, buddy? Did you get annihilated? Did it happen? So yeah, with these extra 50 cals brought up, the U.S. forces are going to be able to field a lot of extra fire here. You got Nielsen firing with that half-track there. He's already on 2 kills, by the way. Let's watch his POV a little bit. Oh, you were the one that armored the blue for, Vic. Are you Private Holtz? You just took the C out of your name. Oh, go fuck yourself with that one, buddy. He took the C out of his fucking name. Oh, you goober. But look at that. They, Nielsen here just knocked out one of, I think the gunner off of the 50 cal Vic right here. Yep, so his body gets knocked out. Oh, wait, nope, he's okay. What the fuck? I think Schneider, that's a German name, right? Schneider? I think he panicked for a second. Interesting. Nielsen is doing a great job locking down these open areas, though. So that's going to force the U.S. to kind of push along the coast here, where the Germans have a big line of troops. We got Charlie 2 coming around. I could see them breaching in and getting to the objective before the Germans could retaliate. So this could still go either way. And we have Eason here from 4IB coming up. He's the machine gunner, and he's trying to get close to the enemy, but he's the Charlie 2. So the machine gun in FNF standard is the SG-44. Whereas the automatic rifle for the squads is the MG-42. That's cute. I can understand why they'd make that decision, but at that point, wouldn't you have the automatic rifleman for the squads be this gun then? Because it has the similar magazine to the bar. And then you have your machine gun be the MG-42 to parry the 1919. That makes more sense to me, but hey, I'm totally a fan of more MG-42s. I think the gunner just got shot. Yep, that was Solomon. Lusso throwing grenades up, knocking out a 4IB guy. Stark trying to put AT. Great shot by Stark on that half track. Stark needs to run though, because Lusso's right behind him. Jeez, Lusso's battle blade just got hit, and he just got hit by, I believe, Fargren on the side. Stark putting a perfect grenade at Lusso's feet. Holy fuck. And a second one. Stark really showing his skills this week. That's great. 2 vehicle kills for Stark and 1 infantry kill from that grenade. Great job. I think if the Germans can hold here, they're going to win unless Scandi Recon comes around. There's some stray fire coming into where Scandi is. You got Foxtrot coming from the different side here. And Hans is waiting for him. Bay's coming from the other side of the river to potentially flank as well. Common sense is not common sense. Common sense is seldom common. That is my #1 thing to say as a player in any Arma 3 scenario. As a Zeus, my #1 thing to say is take feedback. But as a player, common sense is seldom common. So Germans, realizing that the U.S. are starting to get into some grenade ranges, or at least thinking because of the smoke, start to do that. And that's baiting the Germans to throw all their grenades while we still have a line of U.S. forces here lying in wait. But look at all those skulls on the the U.S. side compared to all the skulls on the German side. Granted, we have a lot of people leaving, and sometimes that gets rid of their skull. But numbers-wise, I think the Germans are having an advantage here. But Scandia Recon opens up, getting a flank down here. Smoke going over. DJ VN11 dropped by our chat in the middle in the intermission of round 2 and 3, but he gets shot. Scandia Recon running up, but grenades are being thrown on him. And they're able to just barely avoid those grenades. Ooh, Max trying to get some shots in on Azariah there, lone survivor. Oh, just look at that line of German forces compared to the lack of U.S. forces here. Looks like the U.S. might start trying to funnel forces around, because all they have to do is get to that Vic, it is on a Vic, and destroy it. 50 cals coming around. Germans are doing a counterattack with Pepega. Pega Pirates coming around. Might get a flank on Coac. Flanking a little too hard here. This is now where the major fight is, as the U.S. forces have started grenading the top of this. Swola coming in with the half-track. Now this force is dismounting. Azariah through the window, taking out that one guy. Now they're breaching in. If these guys have explosive charges to take out that vehicle, that's all they need. They need someone with explosives to come in and take it out, but they are within striking distance. And Blue 4 hasn't realized this yet. So I would give Blue 4 a few minutes before they react to this flank. We got Foxtrot going, but we got Fisher and Pickles back here. They lost a guy, but they're watching this force come around. But this is the important fight right here. Now, Charlie 2 does have AT, so Sleshy has the bazooka, so Sleshy needs to be escorted in here. Azariah went back and grabbed Sleshy, but Max is right here. Max might go downstairs real quick. Sleshy's being pointed out by Azariah. Will Max come downstairs and stop them? He does not. There's no side windows there. I think this is it. It's GG. A very well done job by Scandia Recon there, playing the objective and clutching it. Because without that, this force would have been defeated in detail and the Germans would have pulled back. So the Germans overextended, didn't play the objective, they played for kills and lost it. And you're right, I cursed Blue 4. I'm so sorry. But anyway, guys, we will be back in 1 hour and 30 minutes for the NA branch of FNF. Another 3 rounds of World War II Arma 3 PvP with Friday Night Fights. Hopefully back to 124 players. Thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. Hopefully I'll see you in a bit. Otherwise, cheers. Have a good one.